So Barcelona is cracking down on cruising. Royal Caribbean had a man overboard, and Carnival is saying maybe you can't bring your scooter on board. Welcome back, Cruises to All Aboard with Joe. Today, I'm going to be doing something a little bit different as I'm still testing out this channel. We're going to be doing a cruise roundup of news instead of just doing one piece of news. I hope you like it. And if you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We are growing rapidly, and I'm so excited to bring you guys more cruise content. So without further ado, let's get into the first story. Well, sailing to the Mediterranean might be a little bit different because Barcelona, the mayor, and the city council have all agreed that they want to limit the amount of cruise ships in their beautiful city. Now, the overcongestion that they're receiving is honestly a very understandable reason to limit the amount of cruise ships. So it's a very sad day for me because I absolutely love Barcelona. I love the port and I love visiting the Mediterranean. It's one of my favorite ways to cruise. But you know what? I can understand their side of the story because the amount of one-day visitors they have is substantially different than the amount of people that actually come visit for, like, let's say a week into their city. And the one-day congestion just isn't enough to justify the reasoning to have these people there. It's not to say that they're trying to stop cruising as a whole, but the amount they're getting from these giant mega ships from Royal Caribbean, MSC, it's causing this mass congestion, and they're trying to limit the amount of people coming in and out of that port. Now, they don't say this in the press release, but I think in the end, if you're breaking it down, they're trying to find quality tourism rather than just quick tourism. So my personal opinion, I love and I hate that they're doing this because, once again, I love cruising to Barcelona. I love cruising the Mediterranean. This is going to limit some of that. But also, I'm one of those people where when I get off on a cruise ship, I try to be very respectful to where we're at. And sometimes it does feel a little overwhelming for the locals, because, I get that tourism is helping them boost up their city, but the truth is it feels like we're just all like a big cattle call just coming in and taking over the town for like only 6 hours. So I just feel like that they're looking for quality tourism, and I can't really fault them for that. Let me know in the comments what you think. A male passenger on Royal Caribbean's Icon of the Seas, the world's largest cruise ship in the world currently, has he's in critical condition. He jumped off. He jumped overboard. Now, you think that, you don't know why someone would jump overboard. I think there's a lot of reasons: family issues, maybe gambling issues, maybe he lost all his money in the casino. We don't know yet because Royal Caribbean has not, nor will they probably announce the person's name nor the family's name. But this happened not on the last day of the cruise. This happened on the first day of a 7-day Western Caribbean, I believe it was, itinerary. So yeah, you just never know what people are going through. Royal Caribbean said in a press release, like a statement, the ship's crew immediately notified the U.S. Coast Guard and launched a search and rescue operation. Our care team is actively providing support and assistance to the guests' loved ones during this difficult time. For the privacy of this guest and their family, we have no additional details to share. So, as I mentioned, they're not going to release the people's information and for their privacy, and I respect that. Also, I really hope that this male, I don't know if they didn't say if it was a young man or an older man. They didn't say specify, but hopefully he is okay. Mental health is a serious conversation, and I assume, this is my assumption, it has something to do with that. But I hope for his family's sake, everyone is okay and recovering from this horrible, horrible situation, because it's just never good. So I believe there was a passenger that witnessed this, maybe a few passengers. The crew was notified immediately, and apparently, according to the press release, 2,000 plus crew members just jumped into action and immediately stopped the ship and immediately started searching for this man. According to a couple passengers that recorded some video, one was saying that they immediately were out there. They could see the small boats searching for the male, to see if they could find him. And it wasn't for, I think it was 2+ hours after they did find him. But as I said in the beginning of this video, he was in critical condition. For the rest of the guests on board, hopefully they weren't too traumatized, especially if they witnessed this happen. I'm sure that in itself can be traumatizing. But I will say this, that the itinerary wasn't affected. Apparently, the Icon of the Seas Western Caribbean itinerary was continued on almost immediately as soon after they found the gentleman and they brought him off to the hospital or wherever they sent him. Clearly, it wasn't on board. I'm assuming they brought him to the local island or wherever they were near and got him checked out. Oh, I should make mention that when they left the port of Miami, they were on their way to Honduras. So that was actually their first stop on the Western Caribbean itinerary. So apparently that's where they stopped next. There was no delays, and everyone got their cruise back on board, back on track is what I meant to say. So this last piece of news comes from Carnival Cruise Line, and if I'm being completely honest with you, I may get a little hate for this. I completely agree with them. So they are sending out firm policy reminders for scooters. Now, specifically, people on the Carnival celebration have been receiving emails basically stating that you have to be following the proper scooter policy, which means your scooter has to fit within your cabin or be foldable, basically not in the way of anyone else, such as the hallways on the cruise ship. Now, if you've ever sailed on a Carnival Cruise Line ship, you're going to see a ton of scooters and they're getting bigger and bigger. So for those out there wondering why are they all of a sudden being so firm on this policy, it's actually not that they're being firmer than normal. It's the fact that scooters have gotten more powerful and they've gotten bigger. So they have to put them out in the hallway because they can't fit them in the room. And listen, I'm not one of those people that just because I can walk and I'm fortunate enough where I don't need a scooter or a wheelchair, I'm not one of those people that's just saying these things because I don't have those issues. I'm very empathetic for anyone that needs a scooter to get around. In fact, I want you to enjoy your vacation more than anyone else. I don't want you to feel like you can't enjoy because accessibility problems. The truth is, though, is as these scooters have gotten bigger and bigger, people aren't realizing that that affects how crew are able to get around safely or guests are around to walk in the hallways. And similar, this is the way I like to explain it. If you've ever been on a flight before, which I assume you have, especially if you've cruised because you got to get to the port, basically, there's no difference than when you have to put your tray table up or the seat up. They're not doing that to make you annoyed on your flight. They're doing it for safety issues. Because if there ever was an emergency landing or anything like that, and you have to get out of your aisle, you have to make sure that there's nothing obstructing the path to get out of the aisle. And similarly, this is the same thing happening with these scooters. These scooters are getting bigger and more powerful, and they're not foldable. So basically, Carnival is enforcing their policies even further. And in the email that people are receiving, this is what it says. We have important information regarding your stateroom and its accessibility features for guests traveling with a scooter. The stateroom you have secured does not accommodate all types of scooters. So once again, all types of scooters. They're just making sure that you know that your scooter may or may not fit. So you have to check the policy. Now, guests have three options if this is an issue. So basically, under Carnival Cruise Line scooter policy, I'm just reading what they wrote. First, you may travel as planned with the collapsible scooter, or else choose set to sail without a mobility scooter. Which I assume, if you have a mobility scooter, there's a chance you need that. So that's probably not an option. If that is not possible, guests will be able to change their ship or sail on another date in order to confirm the proper room for that scooter. Now, if none of this works for you, you can cancel for an absolute full refund. So you're not left high and dry. And I understand a lot of people don't want to hear that. I know a full refund does sound amazing, but I think a lot of people, when they set their vacation, their mind is, this is my vacation, these are the dates. And whenever there's a chance to cancel, it's not usually an option. But at least Carnival is, they're not leaving you high and dry. There's still an option there. So according to the article I'm reading, Carnival Cruise Line has begun strictly enforcing the mobility scooter policies because the variety of complaints about corridors being blocked with parked scooters. And to be honest with you, I agree. And like I said, I hope that I don't get a lot of flack for this, but I agree. I've been, you only really see this on Carnival. Like I'm sure that Royal has this issue too, but specifically, whenever I've cruised on Carnival, you see way more mobility scooters. I don't know why that is, guys. I'm just stating facts here. I've been on a lot. I've been over 50 cruises, and I can tell you that this is fact. And when it's just parked outside, it does get in the way. Like those hallways are not big, and I'm not saying it's really putting me out necessarily, but it's really not fair for everyone else when you're blocking like an entire hallway just because your scooter doesn't fit because you've got one of those ginormous scooters. But once again, being empathetic towards people that have disabilities, like obviously I feel for them on that, and I want them to enjoy their cruise. So hopefully next time you're better prepared, or maybe Carnival can implement a better booking system that is like big bold letters. Do you need accessibility scooter? Okay, these are the rooms available to you. Before I end this segment for the Carnival, I just want to say John Held, the Carnival Cruise Line brand ambassador, has a couple quotes that I want to talk about. He says, "We really are going to be working to make sure that for the safety of everyone on the ship, that scooters must be kept in cabins and never in the corridors." So he is really hammering home not just the policy, but the kind of general sentiment that the Carnival Corp have, as well as some of the guests that are complaining. He's basically just saying, in the end, this is for safety for everyone. So we just want to make sure the scooters are inside the room and you have the right size scooter. So hopefully if you get the right room, this won't ever be an issue and everyone will be happy. Well, that's it for today's cruise news, guys. Let me know in the comments below if you like this style of video, if you like kind of the culmination of various news related topics being covered. I know sometimes I'll just talk about one topic and that's it for the video. It just depends on how big of a conversation it is. But I thought this was good because these were small little snippets of news that I wanted to share with you. And yeah, let me know in the comments what you think. And as always, guys, I welcome you. It's free to like and comment this video to help boost it. And if you're new here, hit the subscribe button. It supports me. It shows me that I have a growing audience and it keeps me motivated to create cool cruise content because honestly, that's what I'm here for. And lastly, I want to mention that depending on when you're watching this video, I am actually going on an Alaskan cruise with Holland America in a few weeks from now. I'm so excited to share with you guys. I'm going to be doing cruise vlogs, just general reviews of the food and the cocktails, etc. So please, if you're really excited for that stuff, make sure you follow me on all my social channels, all down below. Whoops, all down below. And yeah, of course, subscribe to this channel because I'll be doing more long form content here as well. All right, cruisers, until next time, I will see you then. Peace.